capacity. Can you just break that down for us? Are we going to have load shedding from 8 o'clock this morning?
Good morning, Yuveka, and to our viewers as well. Indeed, we are seeing a big increase in terms of demand on our power grid, and as a result, the risk of load shedding will be much higher. Almost similar pattern like yesterday, Yuveka. When we are seriously constrained, we will issue notice as to what time exactly we will implement load shedding. But as we indicated in that tweet, it's likely to happen later this afternoon, just like yesterday. But because we are running a very unreliable and possibly even unpredictable power system, Yuveka, it can happen anytime. But so far, at least, our prognosis is showing that it might happen late in the afternoon, just like yesterday.
And Khulu, in all likelihood, will it be stage 1 load shedding?
It's going to be dependent on the shortage we have at that particular time. If it's 1,000 megawatts, yes, we will start with load shedding stage 1. But if it's more than 1,000, so from 2,000 megawatts and so on, then it will be another stage beyond stage 1. But so far, our indications are showing that we are likely to start with load shedding stage 1 if the situation worsens from where it is at the moment.
Khulu, like we've been saying this morning, we seem to be in the middle of a heat wave, and it doesn't look like the temperatures are going to let up for the rest of the week. If the temperatures continue to stay as high, are we likely to see a more dire situation in terms of load shedding for the rest of the week then?
You see, for us as a company, heat waves are not necessarily a challenge as such. Our biggest challenge really is the fact that we do not have enough generating units. So if our generators come back online, we will be able to meet the demand, and obviously people are using air conditioners and other things during the course of the day. So for us, we don't want to be seen to be blaming the weather and things like that. So all we're saying is because we don't have enough generating units at this stage, so that is the situation that we are facing. Once we get those generators back online, we will be able to meet the demand and we'll go through the day without having to implement load shedding. But at this stage, though, because our generators are not back online yet, we are in a very vulnerable situation.
All right. So just to clarify, Khulu, are you seeing more or less of a strain, the heat wave not sort of having that big an effect on demand?
No, indeed, it is showing that strain, because during the middle of the day, when the temperatures peak to the 30s and in some places nearly 40s, that's when you see a lot of strain because people are switching on air conditioners in offices and things like that. And then you begin to see the increase. So it is having a relationship, a direct relationship to the constraintness of the system. But as we say, the biggest challenge on our side, it is the fact that we do not have our generators working properly.
All right. And then, Khulu, lots of sort of concern or questions this morning or confusion about what exactly is happening with Medupi. We know that you were supposed to come online in a few days' time, which is mid-Feb, and there have been some reports now that this is only going to happen sort of towards the end of May. Can you clarify for us what the situation with Medupi is this morning?
Sure. Yuveka, what we have said as a company, after the 24th of December deadline that we had missed, we said that we were going to synchronize this unit, the first unit of Medupi, within the first quarter of this year. So we had said that between January and March, the end of March, that's when we are going to synchronize this unit. And in fact, we still are within that timeline. So any time from now and the end of March, we are going to synchronize it. But what we have also said is that we don't want to rush things just for the sake of a deadline. If there are certain things that we pick up during the testing phase, and which necessitate us to sort of sort them out first before we synchronize, we will do so. But from our side, we still are within the timeline of the first quarter of the year. And in terms of that unit producing electricity, we have said before that it will be in the first half of this year. So around June this year, that's when that unit will be producing power. And if you don't mind, I also like to clarify this issue around synchronization. Synchronization to you and I as lay people, essentially it's just testing. It does not mean that that unit will be producing power. So we are testing it to see that it's meeting the required stress test. And once all of those things have been completed, it's only in June that is going to produce the power that we need, about 800 megawatts.
Okay, so regardless of when it actually does come online, whether it's the next few days or whether it's the end of March, it's not going to help us with our load shedding problems at the moment.
If we get 800 megawatts onto the system, obviously it will assist us to sort of reduce the risk of load shedding, because right now, for example, we have taken out 1 unit of Khulu power station, which is producing 930 megawatts. And for that reason, we are seeing some of the challenges that we are seeing now. So if we bring into service any of our generating units with whatever amount of electricity it can produce. So if we get 800 megawatts, for example, obviously it will go a long way in terms of closing the gap, but it will not necessarily immediately address the long-term challenges. So what we are saying is, once we have at least 1 unit of Medupi and 1 unit of Phasiwe, it will help us in terms of stabilizing the grid. So for the next 2 to 3 years, we are likely to have similar situations like the one that we are seeing now with load shedding. But after we have 1 unit of Medupi and Phasiwe, the system will stabilize a bit.
All right, thank you very much, Eskom spokesperson Khulu Phasiwe. And like he said, the chance of load shedding is very high for around midday today, but you will be updated. It won't happen at 8 o'clock this morning, or not likely to happen at 8 this morning, but more likely at around midday.